Welcome to the Speed Diaries, episode 1. This is going to be a brand new series where essentially I'm here to document my own journey of doing Plod to PB. Today is Monday the 6th of October 2025, which is day 1, week 1 of Plod to PB. And I thought for episode 1, we'd kick off with a bit of a long one, which hopefully, if I've done my job properly, is a whole week of training. You're going to get to see some of the runs that I do, you'll see some bits on how I fuel up for those runs, how I recover from them, and you'll get a bit of an insight into how I organise my training routine. Now, I've just finished a full body session, so now is time to, eat and refuel, because later on today I have the first interval session of this new training block. So to keep these simple, easy to digest, and hopefully they're going to do the job of refueling, I'm going for some oats and a whey protein shake. I am a little bit boring when it comes to food. I can't really be bothered to spend lots of time making really nice extravagant meals. So anything like really convenient, does the job, that type of thing. Unfortunately, if you're wanting really nice, tasty looking recipes, you're following the wrong person. I actually tend to do my weightlifting sessions fasted, which might not be the ideal scenario, needing a bowl. But for me, I generally come into the gym fairly early on in the day. Normally it's because I have a client at 6 a.m. and I train right after I see them. And the idea of eating food before a weight training session at 6 o'clock in the morning doesn't sound very enticing to me. Some of you may like it, but this is why it's important to kind of figure out what works for you. Before running, however, I cannot stand not eating. So what I normally do on a double training day is I'll have like a bowl of oats or something along those lines after I lift weights, throw in some protein powder as well to kind of help with the recovery process. And then the job between now and my interval session later is to fuel up and not be a hungry bastard. So when I say I like to keep my food basic, chicken and rice for a pre-interval run. Because I'm an absolute dickhead, I was all ready for my intervals, caffeinated up, fueled, digested, all the good stuff. Forgot my running boot shoes, they're at home. So luckily, I only live like a 5-minute cycle from the gym to my house, so that's what's going on now. Kind of serves as a pre-run warm-up, I suppose, which, to be honest, before hard intervals, a cycle is probably not ideal. But again, it's only 5 minutes, so we're all good. I'll keep you posted. Okay, running shoes acquired, in the bag, and a client of mine gave me a massive share bag of Skittles, so taking these for good measure. Do I need them? No. But to be honest, since getting into endurance sport, the idea that I need to justify having sweets has completely gone out the window. So, no, might not need them, but they're good. So we're safely back at the gym. The shoes are there. And I can tell you now, motivation to get this run done is at an all-time low. One tip for you, find a way to keep yourself accountable. Today, it's me doing this vlog. It's tough out there. Let's get it done. Here we go. We're in for interval session number 1. And I'll be honest, I typically resent training on the treadmill, but needs must. I actually really struggle to track intervals when I'm outside using the watch only. But here are the intervals as such. The pace that you see in front of you is a fast pace. The pace that you now see in front of you is a slightly slower pace. The pace intervals are as follows. I'm doing 4 minutes at the faster pace, 2 minutes at the slower pace, and then I'm repeating the whole thing 3 times round. Now, if you want to stay away from technicalities, then block out your ears now. But over the next 8 weeks, my aim is to turn my faster pacey bits into the pace that I need to do to achieve my next personal best. So I started chowing down on my post-workout recovery situation and realised that I should probably tell you what I'm eating and why. It's another protein shake. Probably not great to have 2 of these in one day, but like I said, I'm lazy. And then this is just like a little bready situation. Carbs, proteins, post-workout, good. On with the rest of the video. So for me, I want to hit a 25-minute 5K, which means I have to run at 5 minutes per kilometre for the full 25 minutes. That means the fast pacey bits are going to get up to 5 minutes per kilometre, and the slow recovery jog bits, for me, are going to be anywhere between 6 minutes per kilometre and 8 minutes per kilometre. It's worth a note that those paces are my paces, and they are the paces that I need to hit, and they're within my ability to chase and hit my next personal best. By no means should you be comparing anybody's paces, whether it's your pace versus mine, or your pace versus anybody else's on the internet. I've said it a lot on Instagram, but I'll say it again here. Your pace does not define you as a runner. That being said, if you are new here, or you're coming across from Instagram and you don't yet subscribe, but you want to potentially improve your pace over time, then subscribe to see more like this. So that's it for day one. Thank you very, very much for tuning in for this long. My absolute game changer rule of thumb is after a really hard day's training, get a good night's sleep, basically. We've fueled up. I may have some more food later. We will let appetite control that, which will probably mean, yes, more food. But I've now got a shower, get ready for my last few client sessions of the evening, and then it's home for a nice early night's sleep. Tomorrow is just weight training. You're probably not really here to watch me lift weights. So I'm gonna skip along to Wednesday, which is when I do my long run of the week. Let's go. All right, guys, it's Wednesday morning at around 7:30. I've got a coffee, thanks to Kerry. And Wednesday means two things: full body weight session in the gym, and this week's long run, which I'm gonna give you the details for momentarily. Right now, I've got to get my ass to the gym, train my first client, train myself, and then begin the fueling process for a long run. And it's on these mornings that I am very, very grateful that I'm no longer training for a marathon, because if I was, today's long run would be anywhere between 20 and 30 kilometers. This week, however, it's between 4 and 6. Much better. Well, that was a relatively unpleasant workout. I got like 5.5 hours sleep last night. So anyway, creature of habit, oats. It's time for some refueling. Sachets in a bowl, hot water with honey. Creature of habit. And then probably the last of my protein powder before I need to buy some more. As you can tell, I'm fucking tired, so I don't have much hopes for this run going too well as far as performance goes, but we show up, we get it done anyway, or something along those lines. I'll try and make it interesting. It is Wednesday, the 9th of October, which means precisely one thing. The long run did not happen yesterday. Whoops. So what did happen? Well, in my currently out of breath state, I'm going to explain to you why I decided to move yesterday's run to today. And it's quite simple, to be fair. As you saw, I had only had, can't remember now, somewhere between 5 and 6 hours sleep. Not good. And as I explained it to my Plod to PB group, I'm a massive fan of, if you've got the chance for it, to do your sessions when you feel good. And as someone with a decent amount of free time, or I should say a decent amount of flexibility, I can kind of move my sessions whenever I want to. And the basic question that I asked myself was, if I did my run yesterday as planned with, let's say, 6 hours sleep, would it be as good as if I moved it to today after a chance of getting much better quality sleep in? And the answer is, of course. Of course it'd be better if I moved it to today. And already we're about 2k in. I'm feeling good. I've had some good food today. Apologies for not showing you in the vlog, but I'm feeling good. And it's all for making the smart decision to move yesterday's run to today. So that's today's lesson. Distance wise today, we're aiming for about 4 kilometers. Nothing major. And the goal over the next 8 weeks is to achieve a 5k PB. So I'm making myself, or holding myself accountable by telling you lot, so that you know what I'm aiming for. Time to beat is 27 minutes and 44 seconds, I think. Anywhere under that would of course be amazing. Now I'm sure some of you are wondering why my long run this week is only 4 kilometers when my goal is to do a 5k. Great question. and I'm taking walk breaks. Oh, speed demons will be out for me. Reason being, and actually a little insight into how I program running for, I would say, the majority of my clients, including the ones doing Plod to PB, is I like to set distance ranges rather than fixed distances to basically allow for what I like to call auto-regulation, which is a fancy way of saying you can kind of do what you want within reason and within the sort of parameters that I set you as a coach. Before Plod to PB started this time around, I'd kind of taken, I think, like 7 to 10 days off of running, or maybe I did like a couple of little runs, but nothing major. And I just wanted today's long run to be a kind of introductory run into the program. So the program said 4 to 6 kilometers. I've chosen the bottom end of that range. So there you go, that's why. On to more running. All right, we're done. Strava screenshot somewhere there, maybe. It's Saturday the 11th of October. Kerry is awake despite pretending to be asleep.
Not pretending.
She's very tired. We're both very tired, actually. And today is the final run of the week, not for Kerry. It's the easy run. And I'm quite looking forward to it because it's only going to be 2 kilometers and it's going to be super easy. One thing that I kind of struggle with some of these shorter runs, like I get quite impatient. So I'm like, I want them to be over with quickly because I'm like, oh, it's only 2K. I can have that done in like 14 minutes. But that's not the point of them. The point of them is to go slow, get my legs moving. And that's it, really. That's it. So anyway, I can't stay in this bed much longer. I must go. Okay, let's go. It's feeling pretty reluctant at this point this morning. Sometimes I find these shorter, easier runs a bit harder, weirdly. I think it's because the amount of time it takes you to actually warm up is basically the length of the entire run. So I'll feel good for like the last 2 minutes and the run will be over. Still plodding along, getting it done. I think so far for the first kilometre we're averaging nearly 7 minutes per kilometre. And that's feeling fairly easy. So mission accomplished, I guess. Probably important to mention the point of these runs. All it really is just getting some nice easy miles in at the end of the week. We're definitely not out for personal bests, but this could be a good opportunity for you to practice a nice easy pace. And easy pace meaning conversational. That is it, run done. 2.5k in total, not bad. Slightly more than I wanted to get in the first place, but that's just kind of how the route worked. And it's not just run done, this is vlog done. So thank you very much for joining in. It was the very first week of this intake of Plod to PB, which is a fancy way of saying it's me trying to get a little bit faster. So if you liked today's episode and you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be doing 1 episode each week that Plod to PB is going on for. That means 8 episodes. I'm thinking next week is going to be a full day of eating around a long run, but I'm happy to take any suggestions in the comment section below. So drop the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you want to see next.